What's up, YouTube? We back. Today we're going to take a look at the police in DUI situations. Upon my studies, there has been a lot of DUI situations and people are not even drunk. Today I on UTV is going to take a look into this and we're going to watch a couple of videos. And I got a story to tell at the end of the video, or maybe I'll tell it right now. So 1995, me and my mom and my ex, she was pregnant at the time. We were taking her from one side of Chicago to another. Mom's older, so she's going very slow. So we get to Kedzie. This is in Chicago. Police is right there under the viaduct, just sitting. We stop at the light. They're there on the side, and we pull off. We pull off from under the viaduct, and the police pull us over. And I stopped my mom from talking. I'm like, for what reason are we getting pulled over, officer? Why is this? He says to me, we have to meet our quota. You was in the right place at the wrong time. So I've been a witness to this type of activity before. But in today's video, we have a couple of them we're gonna watch where people are being sober and arrested for DUI. Let's check it out, y'all.
Now to a stunning new discovery in our sobering problem investigation. We have uncovered that 41 DUIs have been dismissed in Bedford County, and every one of those arrests was made by a single trooper with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. It was on this rural street in Bedford County where Ron LaFlamme became number 41.
I was surprised when he started asking me to do a sobriety test.
Not the 41st person to be arrested by Trooper Asa Pearl for DUI, the 41st to have that DUI ultimately dismissed.
It was wrongful arrest and, oh, don't get me going.
In fact, word was getting around Bedford County about Trooper Pearl's DUI dismissal rate.
I know that during the time that Ron's case was making its through the court, Ron's case was not the only one with this particular trooper where blood results were coming back negative.
But finding proof of all those dismissed DUIs wasn't easy. No mention of them in Pearl's personnel file. And so we filed an open records request with the Bedford County clerk and found these. Dozens of DUI arrests dismissed, all made by Trooper Pearl between 2021 and 2024.
It tells me there was a systemic problem with what he was doing on the side of the road.
Then we obtained this, a spreadsheet put together at our request by the Bedford County DA's office, explaining why each DUI was possibly dismissed. Here's what it shows. In 8 of the cases, including Ron's, the drivers had neither drugs nor alcohol in their system. In 14 other cases, the driver's blood alcohol level was within legal limits and no drugs were found. And that adds up to 22 cases where Pearl arrested someone for DUI and they were sober.
I don't even take prescription drugs. I take 1 vitamin a day.
The other 19 DUIs dismissed are just as confounding. Look, several cases had to be dismissed because Pearl was no longer available for court or couldn't recall the events of the arrest. And we wanted to talk to Pearl about all of this. Why so many sober DUIs on the streets of Bedford County? Why was he not available for court or couldn't remember details? But Pearl never responded to our emails or calls. All his personnel file shows is that in 2024, he resigned from the THP. No reason given. But Pearl is not forgotten in this county, especially by 41 people. Did you get an apology from the officer?
No.
This could happen to your child. This could happen to your parent. This could happen to your coworker.
As we have with every investigation, we reached out to the THP with our findings asking for an interview, but we received no response.
So that was the first video. How would you feel? Because hiring a lawyer and going through the process of getting arrested for a DUI and you're not even sober, really going to cost you a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot of cash. And I think it's just a waste of time, a waste of the city's money because we're paying the police to do this. And it's just a big waste of time. It's not fair. The average American is not rich. We can't afford to pay these high prices, go get probation and get all of this out, bond out of jail, hire an attorney. It's just not justifiable. Let's check this out.
Details tonight in our sobering problem investigation. Not just here in Tennessee, but across the nation, we're finding sober people are being arrested for DUI. And a recent study questions whether field sobriety tests are always reliable.
It just seemed like he was all over the road coming out.
Just moments after being pulled over, Justin Beery had an admission to make.
You might think I'm drunk, I understand, but I've only got for like 3 hours of sleep.
After working a 14-hour shift, the Alabama man also then made a key misstatement.
Do you take any medication or anything?
I have ADD, so I do.
ADD?
I should have said autism instead of ADD. I think at the time because I just was afraid to say it.
Diagnosed with autism, Beery performed poorly on the field sobriety test. But officers with the Pelham County Police Department in Alabama also note this.
No odor of alcohol.
Any evidence of marijuana use?
Not in plain view. Just based on the results of the test, I'd say we have enough.
Enough to arrest Beery for DUI.
This time you will be placed under arrest.
And when Beery's blood work later came back, it revealed no drugs, no alcohol in his system.
I was very angry that this could happen because my wife and I are very both pro-police, but at the same time, our son being arrested for doing nothing.
If it all sounds familiar, it's because for the last 3 years, WSMB4 Investigates has been exposing how more than 2,500 Tennesseans have been arrested for DUI, but their blood tests later came back showing no alcohol, no drugs in their system. Beery's case shows it's happening far beyond Tennessee. Take a look. Using lawsuits, police, and news reports, WSMB4 Investigates found sober people in all these states saying they were arrested for DUI, including in Hawaii. Watch Amen Fapuliai's reaction when the officer says he smells alcohol.
I do detect the odor of alcohol. It's gonna drink it off.
Even though he blew 0 on a breath test, he was arrested.
I felt embarrassed. I felt profiled. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't drink.
Honolulu prosecutors declined to pursue the case, citing insufficient evidence. In Florida, Allie Cupilo's blood work came back showing she was completely sober when she was arrested for DUI. What was it like when he put the handcuffs on you?
It was scary because I knew that I wasn't drunk.
And in Iowa, William Penn University football player Taven Galanakis is suing the Newton Police Department for arresting him for DUI while he was sober, even after he blew 0 on the breath test.
I blew 0, so now you're trying to think I smoke weed. That's what's going on. You can't do that, man.
Attorneys hire me to review their cases.
DUI expert witness Joshua Ott thinks he knows why this is happening. He points to a 2023 study for the Journal of the American Medical Association of 184 people. Some smoked cannabis, others were given a placebo, and officers gave them all field sobriety tests. For 49.2% of the people given placebos, officers determined they failed the field sobriety tests.
The false positive rates of sober people was really astonishing.
Ott says there is no good research showing field sobriety tests accurately show that someone is impaired.
So it becomes very problematic as to how accurate or inaccurate these tests are.
So I'm going to jail tonight?
After his arrest, Barry now drives with a letter from his psychiatrist in his car. It states his diagnosis means he cannot perform a field sobriety test.
Because of my autism, I'm at a disadvantage. I can't help that.
Now, I did ask for an interview with the Pelham Police Department, but their spokesman said they had no comment, but did confirm an internal investigation is underway. Now, you may have you might have your phone in your hand right now, is what I'm trying to say. And our investigation continues right now on the WSMB4 app. You can find this interactive map. You can just click on each state, and you can read about the sober DUI case we found there.
Wow. Yeah.
So So, how would you feel, America? How would you feel to be penalized for something you didn't even do? You had no problem. You were going to and fro, got pulled over, and went to jail. How do you explain that? That your job, because you're probably going to miss a few days, it strikes your record and it makes it very hard for you to proceed through life with these type of things on your record, your driving record. Again, luckily something's being done. These news stations, shout out to them because they put an eye on it and we appreciate it. Drop in the comments on how you would feel if you were driving somewhere, pulled over, arrested, while you're 100% sober. And you know it and they know it too. Drop in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to IOU TV. We'll be back.